When you first start, you come here on I-Day, right? The commissioning day seems so far away. It's not even in our minds.
I think about it as a plebe, how much I looked up to the upperclassmen and seeing where they were gonna go. I feel like it's the closure. It's like the culminating event of what you came here to do for 4 years.
I've been waiting for this moment for like 8 years now because I joined the Navy back in 2012. So I always, looked at officers like one day that's gonna be me.
4 of the most intense years of your life. You have put everything into these 4 years.
Really towards the end, it's just so special that everything is coming to an end.
This is coming faster than I think it's going to. And it's like that's what we came here to do. We came here to graduate and to serve.
This is really a unique situation that the world is in right now.
Worldwide this morning, growing concern over a growing health crisis.
The coronavirus is a pandemic.
Tonight, true to its name, the Navy ship, the USNS Comfort, pulling into New York Harbor, past the Statue of Liberty, the 1,000-bed ship, here to relieve pressure on the city's overwhelmed hospitals.
So I sit at the kitchen table with my laptop and I pretty much get all my work done.
Class of 2020 universally throughout the country will always have this as a part of their story.
I can't imagine not having a graduation from the Naval Academy. It's like, that's what you've been working for. But then someone reminded me, like, you're not working for the graduation. Like, you're working to graduate, but like you're not working for the graduation itself.
Hitting this milestone that catapults you into the future is what I believe we're all most excited about.
The magnitude of it is really starting to set in. We're really about to start our lives.
It goes fast.
I know that the best is to come.
This is what I've finally been waiting for.
It just seems unreal.
Well, I'm going Navy pilot.
I'm supposed to get married this summer before I go to my first ship.
A commission as a Marine ground officer.
I'm gonna head out to Monterey, California.
I'm gonna be a direct IP officer. So excited. I was so excited.
It's a little bit scary because it's for real now. There's no going back.
So I'm really excited to see where the next place is gonna take me.
I've wanted to fly my whole life, so I'm excited to start that journey and just excited to serve the country.
Class of 2020, rise.
A. Levesque.
Kathia Marie Jamora Castaneda.
Gabrielle Marie A. Montehermoso.
Caden C. Dome.
James L. Renault Jr.
Michael J. Irizarry.
Cody Rulofson.
Brian C. Orse.
Alan G. Seabrook III.
Mike Smith.
From the 4th Company, Tyler F. Kane.
Jacob R. Williamson.
Eric M. Eden.
From the 3rd Company, Francesca Monroe Brown.
Alexis C. George.
Blake A. Chide.
Jack Daryl Griffin.
Madison Falvey.
Edward Harrison Jones.
Jokum A. Ha.
Benjamin M. Phelps.
Tom F. Halliday.
From the 6th Company, Aspen S. Bass.
Sophie A. Lekis.
Mary C. Bolton.
Gabrielle L. Taff.
Alex H. Goff.
Charles C. Thigpen.
Carter D. McMurdo.
From the 5th Company, David Ayers.
James R. Osborne IV.
Montana Sky Braxton.
Raymond M. Suchek.
Samuel P. Damalugi.
Claudio Valdez Garcia.
Gonzalo Hernandez Carmona.
From the 8th Company, Joseph S. Chang.
Samuel C. Hill.
David A. Duenas.
William R. Leisman.
John Michael Handling.
John W. Locksmith.
Ryan T. Pereira Murphy.
From the 7th Company, Ahmed Ben Adel Borgini.
Elise M. MacIsaac.
William M. Bossert.
Montasar Wafuk.
Morgan L. Frazier.
Steele J. Templin.
James Jude Hine.
From the 10th Company, Spencer Peter Carey.
Ryan Martin.
Vincent T. DePizzol.
Anthony Tyler Pistorio.
Joseph A. Farrow.
Bernard Joseph Riley III.
Patrick R. Harper.
Cedric R. Williams II.
Lauren M. Heaton.
From the 9th Company, Drake Alexander Bodine.
Gracie Ho.
Shannon E. Hart.
Samuel A. Sasser.
John R. Scasia.
From the 12th Company, Mason T. Faraday.
Raymond J. Tallerini.
Aaron B. Howell.
Wesley Clayton Warren.
Jessica D. Januszewski.
Donovan R. Yard.
Laurel M. Jonick.
From the 11th Company, Matthew E. Christensen.
Alexander M. Murray.
Andres Tomar Correa.
Robert A. Vanacore.
Wilton J. Farmwald.
Nicholas Williams.
Jeffrey Michael Williams.
From the 14th Company, Isaac C. Bengal.
Camilla Healy.
Jeremy Douglas.
Paige E. Miles.
Kevin Conrad.
James Trung.
Andrew Peel.
Connor P. Yoon.
Megan Thompson Rodemaker.
From the 13th Company, Mackenzie L. Bear.
From the 16th Company, Charles L. Ackerblom.
Patrick Carter Bankston.
Albert J. Themmer.
Tyler Stephen Hayes.
Thomas H. Garby.
John Woodrow Lamb.
Cameron Jackson.
Jared C. Nielsen.
Reed Guthrie.
Jonathan Paul Peck.
Danielle Morris.
Hunter B. Woods.
From the 18th Company, Ryan H. Dunleavy.
From the 15th Company, Joseph P. Bunyard.
Margaret Lynn Madigan.
Jesse DeVries.
Jack C. Martinson.
Ann E. Dunnigan.
Nathan J. Masaryk.
Jude Heydrich.
Cesar Alfonso Mora Martinez.
Jared R. Nafee.
Edward Rossiter O'Neill.
Samuel P. Paul.
Thor Wagner.
Zachary J. Wilford.
From the 20th Company, Ryan M. Eilers.
From the 17th Company, Garrison Clark.
Joseph L. Goff.
Benjamin C. Clemens.
Jacob Kang.
Daniel J. Dolan.
Zoe Tatum Kelly.
Abigail Ebersole.
Pia Elizabeth Mackey.
Alexander T. Smith.
Anthony B. Miller.
Yui Yamashita.
From the 22nd Company, Michael Quinn Barber.
From the 19th Company, Georgia O. Deems.
Lucas Coda.
Connor Paul Janke.
Margaret Ashlyn Dawson.
Andrew R. McGregor.
Emma J. Dryden.
Dominique K. Quintero.
Celeste Alexandra Foey.
Mary Claire Ray.
Adam Kraus.
George Selleck.
Marshall O. Shires.
Evan Bradley Wick.
From the 24th Company, Robert C. Briggs V.
From the 21st Company, Cameron Michael Dean.
John Paul Jacobs.
Jeremy L. Graffies.
Allison M. Megan.
Brendan F. Hardin.
Jared W. Wiltshire.
Grace Kim.
Tanner W. Clemens.
Christian Paul McKittrick.
John A. Courtright IV.
Lennon Pineda.
Gabrielle D. Evans.
From the 23rd Company, Caroline A. Buzzard.
From the 26th Company, Adam R. Dorff.
Seamus B. Dwyer.
Ray Kelly Hamilton.
Daniel M. Fisher.
Gregory S. Holmes Jr.
Connor P. Knowles.
James K. Kirby.
Connor A. Cush.
Daniel T. Malarski.
Coleman D. Perry.
Owen White.
From the 25th Company, Alexandra P. Bonfilio.
Ye E. Shun.
Michael A. Chakazlik.
From the 28th Company, Richard J. Alonzo.
Sabrina L. Freehafer.
Robert Walter Finch.
Quinn Greenheck.
Nicoletta G. Georgieva.
Ian Alexander Hardy.
Michael R. Graham.
Joshua A. Walton.
Michael R. Kempton.
From the 27th Company, David K. Abbott.
Alexander Yiser.
Lucas K. Atwood.
From the 30th Company, Peyton J. Adelman.
Jamil S. Fazalden.
Madeline D. Angeli.
Nolan A. Cripey.
Zion Charles Harrington.
Haintet MacArthur.
Caroline Grace Kelly.
Harrison Naughton.
Evan A. Lexo.
Suwen J. Sun.
Daniel C. Miskelen.
From the 29th Company, Nicholas Andre.
William D. Rogers.
Patrick M. Brower. Andrew Douglas. Emily Joy Doyle. April M. Cruz. Matthew R. McClelland. Joseph E. Merkel. And Narua Isosa O'Banner. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the arrival of the official party.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the national anthem sung by Midshipman First Class Samuel Hill and the invocation.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Rye 2020, it is my honor to have the opportunity to pray with you all on this morning. So as you're able, let us pray. Our God that brings us great joy, we thank you for this day of celebration after a culmination of 47 months of blood, sweat, tears, and some sleepless nights. While there is much excitement for what is ahead, there is also a bitter sweetness on this day that we know you are distinctly aware of. So today, we ask that you would reward all of the sacrifices made to get here, both seen and unseen. Where these men and women have sown deeply, often and with pain, may they reap a rich harvest in the future that approaches. And where there is gratitude due to those who have helped along the way, give these graduates unique opportunities to honor those that supported them, friends, family, mentors, and even strangers who showed up at a critical time. Give them wisdom to know how to extend sincere appreciation. May they be a people of thanks. And finally, Lord, ask for your presence and blessing to be upon the class of 2020. You have been faithful to guide all of these selected sailors and Marines into their purpose. Keep them locked on to continue to pursue it. Give them all that they need for the journey ahead: strength, courage, wisdom, protection, and give them 2020 vision that they may see clearly to lead generations following. Amen.
Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, the 63rd Superintendent of the United States Naval Academy, Vice Admiral Sean Buck.
Commandant Colonel Smitherman, Act Dean Phillips, Master Chiefs Kirby, Master Chiefs Figueroa, and our another link in the chain from the class of 70, welcome. Good morning, 2020. Good morning. Welcome back, and congrats on reaching this momentous day. My bride, Joanne, and I have sorely missed your presence in the yard the last 8 weeks. It's good to see you. It's really good to see you in person. I'm thankful to have the opportunity to address your class in person, even if in small groups at a time. As superintendent, it was incredibly difficult for me to make the decision to send you home after spring break, knowing it might be the last time that 2020 assembled together as a class here on the yard. That thought alone is unbelievable to me. I have truly enjoyed watching your class grow into your roles as firsties and more recently, soon-to-be commissioned officers. Simply put, I've loved being your superintendent. Normally, every superintendent gets a chance to talk to the graduating class as a whole for the last time at your commissioning rehearsal. It's one last chance for me to give you my thoughts on what's to come and express my gratitude for allowing for me to be your superintendent. I'm instead addressing you in small groups, personally, on your commissioning day in T-Court, where your Naval Academy journey began. A sign of the unusual times we've lived through this year. While I wish we were under the blue skies at Navy Marine Corps Stadium, it means the world to me nonetheless to see each and every one of you on this tremendously important day at the beginning of your respective careers. As I've walked the empty paths on the eerily quiet yard here each day over the last 2 months, I've had some time to think about your class and the unusual and unprecedented world that you're commissioning into, and what last thoughts I would like to share with each of you. One of the places I walk by daily on my commute from Buchanan House to Larson Hall is the Naval Academy Chapel. Carved above the doors is the Latin phrase, non sibi sed patria, not for self, but for country. From the first time you formed up as a class right here in T-Court on I-Day, we've asked you to memorize quotes from reef points or various phrases inscribed on our buildings and our memorials around the yard. Many of these phrases are meant to inspire and serve as a constant reminder of the sort of selflessness we're looking for in our naval officers. Shipmate self, don't give up the ship, not for self but for country, and honor, courage, and commitment. We ask you to take these words to heart and to indoctrinate those who will walk the halls of Mother B after you using the same core values. In some ways, the COVID-19 pandemic has forced you to live up to these ideals in a way that very few classes have had to during their respective first years. Even as superintendent, nearly 41 years into this Navy journey, it has challenged me in ways that I've never experienced before in my adult life. In the midst of this pandemic, each of us across America is being asked to sacrifice something for the greater good, to think before we act, to put country and community before self. Each of you has been forced to forego the traditional spring semester of your first year that you've been looking forward to for the past 3.5 years. You've had to prematurely say farewell, mostly virtually, to your friends who have become your family. Your brigade striper duties, sports seasons, research projects, and your treasured commissioning week vanished in a second. Many of you moved back home and adjusted to life under your parents' roof once more, foregoing social events for social distancing to protect your loved ones. I truly appreciate the sacrifices you have made, and from the bottom of my heart, I am sorry that you will not have the opportunity to toss your covers in the air, surrounded by your entire class and your loved ones on May 22nd. I, like every single Naval Academy graduate, understand how much that moment means to you and to your family. But you've been asked, before you've even sworn the officer's oath, to put country before self. Your turn to serve in the fleet, to serve your country in the way that you've imagined all along this journey so far, is just around the corner. And when you do raise your right hand in a few minutes, I ask you to take a moment to be proud of the country you have volunteered to serve and protect. This pandemic, however awful, has unified our country in a way that only tragic events can. It has beckoned us all to modify our behavior to keep our neighbors and our communities safe. It's challenged us to widen our normally small apertures and take in the bigger picture. This pandemic has also required ordinary people to deliver the extraordinary, to show up to work each day at great risk to themselves to help others. Every day, healthcare workers, first responders, public transit operators, 18-wheel truck drivers, warehouse workers, and grocery store clerks wake up and go to work, keeping us healthy, keeping us fed, and keeping this country running. And they do this knowing fully well that every interaction was significant risk to themselves and to their families. Unlike each of you, many of them did not raise their right hand and take an oath to serve their country. But for weeks, they've done just that for all of us. When you take your oath in a few moments, you should take great pride in remembering that this is the country you are choosing to serve and to protect, a country of ordinary people carrying out extraordinary acts to help out their fellow man in times of need. As is always the case in times of crisis, Americans have risen to the occasion. Your naval careers are just around the corner. You too will be tested in ways you've never imagined, by long hours, austere conditions, tests that will drain you mentally and physically, and yes, moral dilemmas. I believe that each and every one of you are ready. You have put in the work to develop yourselves morally, mentally, and physically into ensigns and second lieutenants that I am going to be incredibly proud to see commissioned today, and with whom I will be very honored to serve shoulder to shoulder. Class of 2020, you will have much to look forward to. While your careers will be challenging at times, they will also present you with adventures you've never imagined. You will fly aircraft, you'll drive ships and submarines, and you'll lead platoons alongside your classmates and friends from the Naval Academy. There is no cooler feeling in the world than to be out in the fleet, operating and doing the essential missions you've been trained to do. And there is nothing that brings greater humility and pride than being entrusted to lead and protect America's sons and daughters. You will feel the weight of that responsibility late at night, standing the watch, or behind the controls of a supersonic aircraft, or leading your platoons through hostile territory. Take this responsibility seriously and work hard to earn the trust of those that you've been entrusted to lead. If you take care of them, I can tell you they're going to take care of you. You're going to meet people on this Navy journey who will challenge you to be a better person, who will be willing to give their lives for you, and who will remain your closest friends for life. The intensity of our shared experiences in uniform forges bonds that last a lifetime. As a class, look out for one another in the fleet. While your spring semester together was cut short, I assure you that your time together as a class is just beginning and will last a lifetime. Your shared path began here in T Court on I-Day, and it will continue to bring you together through your years of naval service to future careers in command, citizenship, and government. Be there for each other in times of need, and celebrate each other's accomplishments and milestones. Although we are not celebrating with your entire class here today, this shared experience you are living through now will bind you together as a class for the rest of your lives. Class of 2020, the finish line is here. But let me more accurately state that. The starting line is here. I can't wait to commission every single one of you and bid you fair winds and following seas on this great adventure you all have been waiting for. I am proud of each and every one of you for reaffirming your commitment to put country before self today. Non sibi sed patria. You are ready. Last but not least, thank you from the bottom of my heart for allowing me to be your soup for 1 year. And definitely last but not least, don't ever lose the feeling of expecting to win. Go Navy, beat Army.
The Senior Marine Representative, Colonel Jeffrey Smitherman, United States Marine Corps, will administer the oath of office to those being commissioned in the United States Marine Corps.
Thank you, Captain Buchanan. Class of 2020, it is good to see you, albeit in unusual circumstances. I'm very proud of you, and I'm privileged to be here today to commission a portion of you into the Marine Corps. Before I do, I'd like to offer just 3 short reflections based off of the great comments by our superintendent. The first is recognize that you are about to enter the fleet in a dynamic time of change. And everything that you've experienced in this last semester will serve you well during that time. We are in transition from a time of pure competition to having pure adversaries. And you have to recognize that whether you are going to take your planning guidance from the Commandant of the Marine Corps or from the CNO's FRAGO for warfighting and maintaining maritime superiority, the Navy and the Marine Corps together are in this fight to ensure the supremacy of a joint maritime force. That is real, and you are going to experience and be a part of it. We have to be prepared to actively operate in those crisis areas that are contested. It is only when the fleet and the Fleet Marine Force are there together that we will be first to help, first to contain, and first to fight when the time is right. You need to get ready. My second point is you've had various opportunities for leadership while you've been here at the Academy. It's come in different forms. You've had the opportunity to hear great, successful leaders offer you sage advice and wisdom, some pearls of wisdom, some gold nuggets, a lot of them most recently from the Commandant on Instagram over the last month. I give him props. I am a follower, and I commend him for that diverse leadership that he's provided, right? Because he found a way to lead. My point to you is the commission you are about to assume is about leadership. And as our superintendent said, you're going to be entrusted with the sons and daughters of our country. You cannot be anything more than a manager if they do not understand that you care for them first. Care for them. Lead them. It is more than liking or being liked, and it includes accountability and hard decisions. But if you love them, they will do what you ask them to do. My last comment to you is really more from a personal standpoint in terms of success in life. You learn to prioritize here at the Academy. You had to get to the point where you're sitting in the seat that you're in today. If you expand that out, to be successful in life, you have to be able to prioritize. For me personally, that came down to my faith, my family, my country, and my core, and in that order. What you have to understand is we are in the business of mortal conflict. You are going to send your sailors and Marines into harm's way. And there's a spiritual component to that. They need you to understand that resilience begins before the fight and well after it. So if you are somebody of faith, continue to grow in that. If you are not, respect it of others and perhaps find it along the way. When it comes to your family, this career that you're embarking on is simply one chapter in your life. Love those who love you, take care of them, because they will be there after this career, regardless of how long it lasts, is over. And as for your country, remember this. You defend the Constitution, not a political persuasion, not a singular aspect of society. We are one of the last trusted institutions in our nation, in our society. You have to respect that, and you have to protect it at all costs. So when it comes time to fight, know that you are in the best Marine Corps and Navy in the world, but only because we prepare, and we train, and we trust, and we lead. So strive in every endeavor to pay attention and continue that legacy. And I'll just ask you this simple question. Who better to lead in this century than the class of 20? With that, I'll ask the graduates of the Marine Corps to be, the graduates to be commissioned in the Marine Corps to stand. Raise your right hand. Having been appointed a second lieutenant in the United States Marine Corps to rank as such from the 22nd of May, 2020, do you hereby accept such appointment, and do you solemnly swear that you will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that you bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that you take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that you will well and faithfully discharge the duties on which you're about to enter. So help you God. Semper Fidelis. Take your seats.
Thank you, Colonel Smitherman. This is the Tuesday morning edition of the Dont Daily. Good morning, class of 20. It is great to be with you. What a glorious day it is. I am privileged to be amongst you and to be able to celebrate with you in a small but historic way. Here we are in Tecumseh Court, ending your Naval Academy journey exactly where it began, culminating your 4, maybe not so short years in Annapolis. Indeed, each of you have worked hard to arrive at this point in history. My personal congratulations to each and every one of you. I know this ceremony does not look at all like the graduation ceremony that you or we imagined it to be. However, despite its uniqueness, it is no less special, and this moment is no less impactful. This moment where you swear an oath to our Constitution to serve as an officer in the naval service. You will reaffirm this oath each time you are promoted. You're not swearing an oath to a person, but to defending the pursuit of an ideal, to be a public servant responsible to our nation. This is a special trust and confidence that you assume today. And my advice is to listen to the poignant words of this oath and internalize them in your own life. And as your time as a midshipman comes rapidly to a close, please know that we are very, very proud of you. And in short order, I would like to provide 3 pieces of free advice. I have not cornered the market on advice for sure, but since my dad provides me lots of free advice, I figured I'd gift some of it to you. Best thing about this advice, it is in fact free. No silver dollars required. And at the end of the day, you can discard it if you wish, but I offer it to be helpful as we confront a very uncertain future. First, become an expert in your chosen profession. Being exceptional at your job is a force enabler, and achieving expert status is entirely up to you. Your performance here is merely a way station for your future success. Attainment of that success will be dependent on how you integrate what you learned here with what you learn in the very near future. Second, and as has been stated before, earn the trust of your leadership and your teams every day. You earn this trust through your positive engagements with others, your integrity, your commitment to excellence. What you say, what you do, and how you carry yourself, it all matters. Your sailors and Marines will be watching. Finally, looking ahead to the future, simply be humble. Approach each day with a fresh outlook, value different perspectives, and be authentic. The transparency with which you live your life will keep you on that straight path. Our fighting force is better with you in it, and I am honored to stand here with you today to welcome you into the Officer Corps of the United States Navy. Good luck, and God bless each and every one of you. Will the 143 midshipmen of the graduating class to be commissioned in the United States Navy please rise? Please raise your right hand. Having been appointed an ensign in the United States Navy to rank as such on the 22nd of May, 2020, do you hereby accept such appointment, and do you solemnly swear that you will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and that you will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and that you take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that you will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office upon which you are about to enter, so help you God. I do. Congratulations. Ensigns, seats. Today we have commissioned 195 men and women who have met the many challenges of 4 years at the Naval Academy. In addition to those just commissioned into the Navy and Marine Corps, the class of 2020 here today also includes 8 graduates from 6 nations around the world. At this time, I invite the following international graduating midshipmen to stand when their name is called. These graduates will return to their countries and serve with distinction in their armed forces or enter other government service. From the Republic of Bulgaria, Nicoleta Georgieva. From the Republic of Honduras, Lenin Pineda. From the United Mexican States, Cesar Mora Martinez. From the United Mexican States, Claudio Valdez Garcia. From the Republic of Peru, Gonzalo Hernandez. From the Republic of Singapore, Yixin Yi. From the Republic of Tunisia, Ahmed Borgini. And from the Republic of Tunisia, Montassar Mouafak. Congratulations. Seats. While the class of 2020 has achieved many great things, we would like to recognize those graduates who have excelled academically. At this time, I invite these distinguished graduating midshipmen to stand when their name is called. Caden Dome stands first in the class. Paige Miles, John Hanling, Jonathan Peck, Aaron Howell, Daniel Dolan, Allison Megan, Robert Vanacore, Nathan Masaryk, Coleman Perry, Lucas Atwood, Jared Nafee, Yui Yamashita, Eric Eden, Madeline Angeli, Nicholas Andre, Michael Graham, Edward Jones, Sophie Lekes, Seamus Dwyer, Mary Bolton, Victoria Lavec, Yixin Yi, Ray Kelly Hamilton, Daniel Fisher, and Marshall Shires. Congratulations. Thank you. Seats. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the singing of Navy Blue and Gold. The president of the class of 2020 will now join me at the podium to lead us in the closing event.
Good morning, everyone. Before I share my brief remarks with you all, I would like to bring your attention to the empty seat in front of us in remembrance of our brother, David Forney, who will always, always be a member of the class of 2020. Please join me in a moment of silence. Thank you. Although today is not the picture-perfect ending we had envisioned when we embarked on this journey at the United States Naval Academy, we have a lot to be thankful for, and we have a lot to celebrate. To the class of 1970, thank you for being with us from the very beginning. we have learned and grown from your mentorship along the way. This journey has had its very highs and its very lows. However, we have made history along the way. As we go our separate ways today, I want to thank you all. I want you all to remember how far we have come as individuals and as a class. We have always found a way or made one, for better and for worse. Congratulations, 2020. May we continue to strive to be the positive change that we want to see in the world. So thank you and God bless. So please rise. I propose 3 cheers for those we leave behind. Hip, hip. Hooray! Hip, hip. Hooray! Hip, hip.